Hello, boys and girls. Let's get ready for chapter 29 of One Crazy Summer. Before we start, let's review our teaching point. Readers will pay attention to the character traits, relationship, the point of view of the narrator, and possible themes as well as any changes to the story elements. Chapter 29, Glorious Hill. I didn't know which was weirder, having Hirohito see me in my pajamas or not having any chores to do. I tried to wash dishes and always offered to mop the floor. But for the fifth day in a row, Mrs. Wood said, "Go outside, play." I felt like a watcher while Hirohito chased Vanetta and Fern around. I sat on the porch with my book in my lap, glad I had brought it along. In between turning pages, I'd peek at Vanetta, Fern, and Hirohito playing Mother May I or freeze tag. He knew just how to escape their tags and keep the game going. I could see why Hirohito put up with Vanetta and Janice at the center, why he let Fern chase him and tag him, when she wasn't fast enough to catch him. Hirohito had no brothers or sister. He liked being a brother to my sisters and me. Grateful that Hirohito would soon tire his sisters out, I settled into my book on the porch. I could finish the chapter before it was time to come inside. I read my book, bright-eyed, breathing heavily, and rooted for Rontu to win against a pack of wild dogs, his former brothers. Get him, Rontu, get him! I did. So let me just stop here, because now I'm thinking that Hirohito is an active, playful character, while Delphine is more of a reserved, mature character based on what they're doing. I see that Hirohito is running around with the girls and having fun being a kid, while Delphine is just sitting, reading a book and watching them play. So they're very opposites, right? And they're about the same age, so they act very different. I didn't hear the quiet. The sound of playing in the yard had stopped. I looked up, and they were all standing around me with Hirohito's go-kart. "Hey, Delphine!" Vanetta and Fern giggled. Obviously, they were a part of Hirohito's plan to sneak up on me. He smiled, pleased to have caught me unaware. "Want to try my go-kart?" I rolled my eyes and tried to appear older, above playing kid games. "Me? On that thing?" Vanetta and Fern started screaming that they wanted a ride. He tapped my sneakers with one of his dog-eared high tops. "It's fun. You'll like it." Before this week, I would have said, "How do you know what I like?" My goal to come off bored and older slipped right out from under me. Inside, I felt like I was being pulled onto the sixth grade dance floor. I wanted to give him my hand and let him pull me up, but I felt too big, tree-limbered, plain-faced. I probably looked silly on a go-kart, just like I looked silly matching steps with some boy in the multi-purpose room at school. So here Delphine is feeling odd and out of place. If she rides this go-kart, right, she doesn't feel comfortable riding it. So this is going against what she should be doing. She should act her age, be mature, and not give in to these kids' games. So that's why she feels uncomfortable. I glanced down at the sawed-off piece of wood resting on top of the metal frame with skate wheels up front, tricycle wheels in the back, a rope on one end, and a carpet square on the other. I had never seen Hirohito sit on a carpet square. He always rode belly down, arms stretched out and hands gripping the T-bar. It was a wonder he was all scarred up. Boy, you must be crazy. Stop being a chicken. You can steer it. Those legs reach the turn bar easy. Just hold on to the rope and keep it steady. Vanette and Delphine snickered at Hirohito's carefree choice of words. I couldn't hit him for calling me long-legged chicken after I gobbled down his mother's fish and rice. I said, I am not getting on your street roller. No way. Instead of saying, not on your street roller coaster, or, yeah, no way, Jose, my sister's voices failed to come to my rescue. Instead, Vanetta and Fern, mostly Vanetta, screamed and danced around us, pleading to take my turn on the go-kart. Hirohito shook his head, sorely disappointed, like he was Papa. I didn't think you was scared, Delphine. I'm not scared of that thing. My voice hit notes it was not known for reaching. Then come on. No, chicken. I'm not a chicken. He offered the rope to me and patted the carpet seat. Just a block, not even a hill. So right here, I wanted to include this picture of a go-kart. So this is what it might have looked like. See how the ropes are here? You put your feet here, and this is what Delphine would be riding. I couldn't let him think that I was weak and scared. Girl pride and a lower voice said, I'm not afraid of no hill. Before I knew it, we had become a merry parade. Me sitting on the go-kart, my feet on the bar, Hirohito behind me pushing, and Vanetta and Fern at the rear, parading up Magnolia Street. What a sight. I sat hunched over, holding onto the rope, my big sneakers on the turn bar. All I could do was wrap the rope tighter around my hand and pray. So we see that Delphine is feeling scared to ride this go-kart. Let's continue. How could I find my balance, let alone trust it? Surely balance was needed to ride that roller cart of danger. Where was my good common sense? The common sense that Big Mama always pointed out I was born with. I was mad at myself for letting this happen, letting them push me into riding down some hill on this wooden bumpy hard rod roller. I could fall over on my butt, scrape every inch of my skin on my legs, arms, and hands. I could look stupid, scraped up, tangled up mess on top of it all, screaming like a fraidy cat in front of my sisters. So she hesitated about riding this go-kart because she thinks it's immature and she's a bit afraid of what might happen, right? She's scared. I hugged the rope, my heart pounded through my ears, down in my toes. None of that concerned anyone on the parade route. Hirohito pushed me happily. My sisters skipped and clapped and sang. They might as well been singing, "Crash, Delphine, crash." Then Hirohito stopped pushing. Now the tip of my fingers pounded. We were at the top, the very, very top of the hill. Hirohito looked at me like this was all fine, not like he was getting me back for being mean to him. My knees would knock if they weren't frozen. I wanted to get up and walk away. Don't worry. It's safe, he said. My dad built it. It's sturdy and has no splinters. He sanded it down for days. Good job, right? Right, I said. I helped him. He turned the T part so it swiveled. Real axle for the turns. It's good for racing, but don't worry. he said again. You just have to go straight. Keep it steady. He nodded and smiled. My dad's the greatest. I doubted he meant to get all girly talking about his father. He caught himself and changed his voice. So here we know that this go-kart has special meaning to Hirohito because his father made it, and we know that his father is also, is not with him. So he holds this cart it has special meaning to him. Really, Delphine? I didn't answer. He said, use your sneakers to slow down, then stop, just drag. Then he lifted my foot and put it in the right position, the position that would have turned the heels of my sneakers as doggedy as his. Remember, you don't have to steer. It's a straight ride down. Just slide your sneakers like this. He moved his foot slightly sideways. It was a wonder he had soles at all. He told me to hold on tight. Then he ordered Vanetta Fern to come on as if they had taken my place as the oldest. Part of me did not like it one bit. The other part did not have time to think about that. Push! Fern screamed, yay! I looked up mad, screamed, thrilled. I felt 6 hands on my back and a bumpy ground beneath me. With all that rumbling, my head spun with the sheer craziness of it all. Being pushed down the street, my sisters and Hirohito cheering and pushing and letting me go, and time not ticking but racing away. It was too late to jump off while the go-kart rolled. Its steel skates wheeled, hitting every bump and every pebble on the sidewalk. I leaned left and then right, trying to find my balance, leaned forward, left, right, and forward, my drawing up knees helping to keep me steady. There was a curve in the sidewalk, not exactly straight like Hirohito told me. To me, it was winding and dangerous like a Chinatown dragon. As the go-kart went faster, I felt the rumbling of the wheels hitting the concrete beneath me. I screamed so loud I startled myself. I had never heard myself screamed from the top of my lungs, from the pit of my heart, screamed like I was snaking and falling, screamed and hiccuping and laughing like my sisters, like I was having the time of my life flying down this glorious hill. Vanetta, Fern, and Hirohito had run after me, but Hirohito had outrun my sisters and met me at the other end. When we were all together, Hirohito led the parade of him, Vanetta and Fern, hooting and dancing around me. Okay, so here we see Delphine realize that as unexpected as this ride had been, this was the one of the few times that she didn't have to act. Okay, so let's summarize chapter 29. Delphine feels weird not being in charge, and Miss Woods tells her to go outside and have fun. So what she does for fun is that she takes her book and reads instead. Then Hirohito interrupts her and offers her to ride his go-kart, and she refuses at first because she's like too big and that's for kids and not for her. But then her sisters and Hirohito like egg her on, like, yeah, come on, you can do this, and she eventually agrees, just to prove that she's not afraid of going on. Delphine feels that after she takes this ride, she feels like a kid. She has no worries, no cares, no responsibilities, and it's great. And this connects to what we read earlier because she's always acting like this older, responsible sister, and this is the first time we see her having fun. So the question for this chapter is here. Make sure that you read it. All right, boys and girls,